Sports.com broadcast network, Mike Ritchie, along with Billy Parker and Toby Murray. We're at Great Crossing County Park in Georgetown, Kentucky. Girls fast pitch softball action for you today. Should be a good one. Great Crossing, the Warhawks, from right across the road, coming with a record of 8-3, representing the Region 11. They'll be taking on the Yellow Jackets of Woodford County. Woodford County comes in with a record of 10-5, and they'll be representing Region 8. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back for the start of the ball game. Nope, we're going to stick right here. The ball game's ready to start. So, with that being said, sit back, enjoy the ball game. If you got any friends or family that aren't aware of the broadcast, let them know that we are broadcasting live. Should be a real good one. First up for Great Crossing, the Super Soft, the third baseman, number 22, Cameron Luckadoo. Pitching for Woodford County, Claire Limcolor. First pitch swinging out into the left center field is Luckadoo. Hard turn at first base. She's back to first and a leadoff single just like that. Great Crossing with the first hit of the ball game. Now batting for the Warhawks, Delaney Sullivan. Batting 414 is the shortstop. She'll be hitting from the left side with Cameron Luckadoo out at first base. The pitcher for Woodford County, she's pitched in 13 games, started all 13, 75.1 inning pitched, 41 hits, 25 runs, 8 of those earned, 10 walks, and 139 strikeouts. Drag bunt just goes foul. She's had 1,160 pitches so far. Her record is probably 10-4 after last night's game, and her ERA, very respectable ERA, Billy, .74.
I believe, have you already mentioned, I think she signed with Bellarmine.
Yes. I didn't mention it, but I appreciate you bringing that up. Awesome when a high school athlete can extend their career into the collegiate level. So Cameron Luckadoo out at first base, stays hot. Had a great ball game yesterday. Swing and a miss, and a steal attempt at Luckadoo. Head first slide easily into second base. So Delaney Sullivan behind in the count, 1-2. Takes the outside pitch a little bit high. Like I say, perfect day for a ball game here. Playing under hour and a half time limit. I did confirm that. So the count's full, 3-2. To the Great Crossing sophomore Delaney Smith. Slap and stays alive as she fouls it off into the back of the net.
Looks like Cameron Luckadoo got her sleep last night after yesterday's performance. She was out here ready to go, flying across the bases.
Yep. Yeah, she had a great ball game yesterday. 2 for 3 with an RBI. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's high. Gets away from the catcher, and Luckadoo is over to the third base on a wild pitch. And a walk. First walk of the ball game given up by Lynn Kohler. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter for Scott County, the catcher, batting 409, Bianca Ward.
You've got to be happy with this start against a ranked opponent, local opponent, team they know very well. Played against them in the fall a few times in the fall league.
Yep, first pitch swinging, strike one on the miss. And probably one of the better rivals with Scott County back in the day.
Yep, for sure. For former region rivals, right?
Yes. Stolen base out there. We'll be generous. Give them the stolen base. And again, when Great Crossing became a school, that's when Woodford County transferred over to the 8th region to make room for Great Crossing in the District 41 and the 11th region. Ward.
Is it deep enough for the tag?
Good job for the left fielder. Calling off the shortstop. Unable to tag is Luckadoo out at third base. So F7. First out of the ball game for Great Crossing. That'll bring up Nani Valencia, heading down to Western Kentucky University. And the Hilltoppers are getting a good one.
Yep, following a couple of other former athletes from Scott County Schools, all giving her the base.
Yep, an intentional walk. That'll be the second walk of the ball game. That'll bring up Kendall Meade, the DP.
What's your thoughts on that, Mike? Do you like the fact that you can just you get that opportunity to just give them the base without the pitches?
I think when you're around long enough, really very seldom do you see that anything happen out of the 4 pitches anyway, so it speeds up the game. You are taking an element. There is a chance for a ball to come over the plate and somebody hit it. You see that 1 out of 1,000 times. Every now and then you see a wild pitch, but typically, more times than not, there's no issues. So Kendall Meade at the plate, bases full of Warhawks, swing and a miss. And a good call worked out for him up to this point. First strikeout of the ball game, second out of the inning. So great crossing, 1 hit, 2 walks. Load the bases, and that'll bring up Destiny Reed, the second baseman, batting .500. Is the sophomore, first pitch swinging. And Lim Cooler, pretty respectable ERA at .74, Billy.
Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that low, but yes, she is definitely their predominant starter, and they've leaned on her heavily this year.
Yeah, she's pretty much pitched 13 games. Coming into the tournament, looking at the stats on the KHSAA website. So a chance for the Warhawks right here. Bases loaded. You have Luckadoo at third, Sullivan out at second, Valencia over at first, and Destiny Reed a chance to pad the stats a little bit, get a couple of RBIs.
Another one of those super sophomores that they've got. I think they got 4 or 5 there in the lineup.
That is correct. They have 4 in the lineup, and the flex player also in the lineup. Riley McAllister playing left field today for the Warhawks. Something you don't see in baseball, different in softball. You have the left fielder out there wearing a sweatshirt. Ball popped up out into the left field, just outside the fence, and that'll be a foul ball.
I think this is the first time we've seen the Warhawks in this white top, green pants combination. My daughter this morning said she felt like she was a stalk of asparagus.
So 1-1 is the count to great crossings, Destiny Reed. Bases jam-packed with Warhawks. There's a shot. Looks like it's going to get over the left fielder's head. And they're going to say off the wall. 3 runs are going to store. And if you're a Warhawk fan, you got to be happy about that. Destiny Reed off the fence in left center field with a blast. Give her a stand-up double. 3 RBIs.
And those Warhawk fans certainly are. A lot of cheering down there.
So the Warhawks, 3 runs off of 2 hits and 2 intentional walks. And that'll bring up Lane Ogle, the pitcher, has to be happy with that early lead.
Works inside the plate on her.
Count evens up at 1-1.
Coach Portwood simply giving her the instructions to just put that ball in play. Let's see what we do here. 1-2 count. stays alive with the ball in on her hands.
So 1-2 is the count, 2 outs. The hero up to this point, Destiny Reed, with the double off the wall in left field, able to score 3 runners on the play. They're going to say strike 3. Looking, second strikeout of the inning, but the damage is done. Great Crossing is able to bring 7 batters to the plate and score 3 runs. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching Fast Pitch Softball on BirdsNestSports.com. Back after this.
Schools and BirdsNest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, Chick-fil-A, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky, Clark's Pump and Shop, Georgetown Community Hospital, West Banco, Greens Toyota of Lexington, Ozer Paint and Flooring, Scott County Veterinary Clinic, People's Bank, Time to Shine Car Wash, Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Domino's Pizza, Burger King, Galvin's on Main. This broadcast has been made possible by these corporate sponsors and viewers like you.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. Mike Ritchie along with Billy Parker and Toby Murray here at Great Crossing County Park in Georgetown, Kentucky. Fast start for the Warhawks as they were able to score 3 runs. Cameron Luckadoo led off with a single, stole the base to second. Delaney Sullivan as well walked after a fly ball out to left field off the bat of Bianca Ward. Nana Valencia was intentionally walked. Kendall Meade struck out, and then Destiny Reed comes up, the hero of the ball game up to this point. Line drive. Off the wall, left center field, plates 3 runs. So Lane Ogle with an early lead to work with. The junior left-hander has pitched in 8 games, started all 8, pitched 39-plus innings, 26 hits, 15 runs, 11 of those earned, 9 walks, 32 strikeouts, over 500 pitches up to this point. Her record is 4-2 with an ERA of 2.60, and she'll start with the opposing pitcher, Claire Limculler, the senior, batting .432.
Oh, for sure. Nobody happier than Lane Ogle out there. Lane Ogle taking her time. Laser.
Woodford County. Now batting is the shortstop for Woodford County, Wimberly.
Nobody can say the pitcher isn't trying to help herself out here.
So Wimberly, the shortstop, first pitch outside, batting .548 on the season. That's a pretty. We've seen a lot of good batting averages coming into this point, haven't we?
Pitch outside, she fouls off.
So the count 1-1 to the senior shortstop for Woodford County, Tatum Wimberly. Ogle from the left side, swinging a miss on the changeup. That pitch is a little bit outside, but that's one of those when it slows down a little bit, it's about the size of a watermelon.
Yep, and she was taking what she saw at that pitch before it. She liked that outside pitch. She thought, let's take it a little further outside and see if you like it.
Yeah. Sorry for the difficulties there, and with the audio, we got it figured out. So we're in the bottom of the first inning. A number picked up by Luckadoo. Quick flip over to first base, and I'm telling you what, that's a big league play right there.
Yep.
So the runner unable to advance, obviously. And Luckadoo comes in charging, picks it up quickly over to Valencia.
And really liked the pitch call there, too. I mean, she kept liking it outside of the zone on the outside. Why not keep giving it to her? Don't make good contact and able to get the easy out at first and hold the runner. Looks like her counterpart, number 3 here, is not liking that outside pitch as much as her. The 2 batter.
So the count goes to 2-0 to Kristen Murphy, the third baseman, sophomore, batting .324 for Woodford County. And just like that, we're 3-0. So they'll go behind in the count 3-0 to Kristen Murphy. Here's the 3-0 pitch. First pitch swinging under the glove of Delaney Sullivan. And the first run of the ball game in for Woodford County. Mr. Parker, base hit or error on that one?
Oh, that's base hit. I think that I wouldn't consider that a routine play, especially Sullivan out there. She's got some speed behind her, and if she couldn't quite get there.
So that'll make the ball game, the score of the ball game, 1-0. 2 hits in the inning for Woodford County, and Kristen Murphy gets the first RBI of the ball game. That'll bring up the catcher, Cora Robinson, batting .294 for Woodford County. First pitch outside, ball 1. So kind of surprising that Great Crossing was able to put 3 runs. Lynn Cooler's ERA is .74 to give up 3 runs in that first inning. Kind of surprising. A line drive down the right field line, foul by about 15 feet.
Yeah, and I mean, unlike, they've faced. I feel like they faced a little bit stronger of a schedule than Pulaski last night. So yeah, I would have to agree. Coming out 3-0, got to be excited.
So Cora Robinson batting .294, catching for Woodford County. Grounder over to Sullivan, flips it over to Reed at second. No throw, so we'll say a fielder's choice. .63 gets Kristen Murphy out at second base. Cora Robinson's down at first base. And we're probably going to get a courtesy runner here. And Toby Murray, we put him in charge of the courtesy runners today, so he's working on getting us that number. And while he's doing that, the DP is up next for Woodford County. Addison Kerr, batting .227 on the year, is the junior. Toby still working on that number for us. First pitch. Taken outside corner, strike. The courtesy runner for Woodford County is number 15. That would be Aslan Day.
Takes that screwball to foul territory.
So Day, the runner at first base, doing courtesy running for the catcher, Cora Robinson. And Addison Kerr at the plate. Count is 0-2. 2 outs here in the inning. And Lane Ogle trying to get out of it to maintain this 3-1 lead for the Warhawks. Change up. Line to right field. Good hustle over there by Katie Baker to get it in. She bobbles a little bit. And the coach holds up the runner, Day, down at third base. So a nice single by Addison Kerr to extend the inning for Woodford County. Woodford County 3 hits in the inning. Lim Cooler led off with a single. She wound up at third base after the error. Kristen Murphy gets the RBI, brings Lim Cooler in, and then the courtesy runner Day for Robinson winds up at third base after the single from Addison Kerr. We have another courtesy runner.
Kylie Fortney, I believe, number 1.
Yep, she's the flex. So Kylie Fortney is running. She's a second baseman and flex player. First pitch called a strike. So, Billy, what's the rule on the flex? She was playing second base, so she pretty much can go in and run if she wants to?
Yep. But she's not expected as a batter.
Right. So, swing and a miss on the pitch, and Fortney easily down to second base. Catcher's indifference on that one. So the count 0-2, 2 outs here, bottom of the first inning. Pitch is outside. Here's the flip back to Luckadoo. And the ball hits the runner's foot and Luckadoo's glove at the same time and pops out, or she might have been called out. Pitch is a ball 2, excuse me. 2-2 is the count. 2 outs here. So Deuce is on the scoreboard. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Ogle gets out of the jam. And so after one complete, Great Crossing 3, Woodford County 1. We'll be back right after this.
For oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery, specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Scott County Schools and BirdsNest Athletics would like to take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors: Bluegrass Orthopedics, Georgetown News Graphic, Denise M. Keene, Certified Public Accountant, Brickhouse Properties Real.
Welcome back. Top of the second inning here. Leading off for Great Crossing is Brooklyn Booth. First pitch, swing and a miss. Great Crossing 3-1 with the early lead after one complete.
You might not say, well, we had a lot more runs scored in that first inning. Definitely the battle that I was expecting coming into today.
Having a little bit of technical difficulties here with our audio. Not sure what's going on. We'll try to figure it out. So if we bounce in and out, we do apologize. So third strikeout of the ball game for Lim Cooler. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter for Great Crossing, Katie Baker, the right fielder, committing to play at the collegiate level at Trancey. First pitch, swing and a miss.
Nothing bashful about that swing.
Pops it up on top of the dugout on the first base side. The count 0-2. Quickly ahead of the hitter is Lim Cooler. Or Culler, excuse me. Sorry if Mr. and Mrs. for the name mispronunciation. Swing and a miss. So regardless of what you call her, she's pretty much a force out on the mound. As you can see, a .74 ERA and back-to-back strikeouts here already just in the second inning, 4 strikeouts.
Yeah. Woodford County's dropped 4 of their last 8, so, and a couple of them make you scratch your head. So not sure what's going on there, but definitely she's looking strong, and they're looking strong today.
So with 2 outs, here comes Luckadoo. The leadoff hitter singled and scored in the first inning, takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner.
Looking to start a 2-out rally here.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Right down the pipe. 0-2. So she gave up 3 in the first, but she's found a groove here in the second, hasn't she?
She has. She has. Let's see what the top of the lineup does to her, though. They started off incredibly strong that first inning.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. A little bit low. They're going to go for the check swing appeal. First base umpire wasn't asleep, or if he was, the automatic call there is safe. So 1-2 the count, 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Great Crossing with an early 3-1 lead against Woodford County here in the the Warhawk Classic on BirdsNestSports.com. Mike Ritchie, Billy Parker, Toby Murray here with you today. After this, Toby and I are going to head over to the Scott County baseball field to broadcast the Ryle versus Scott County baseball game. Scotty Sutton will join us over there. Pop up over to first base. Underneath of it is Layla Ashbourne for the 3rd out of the inning. So no damage done for the Warhawks in that second inning, as Lynn Kohler did a very good job. She got 2 strikeouts in the inning. But we'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the bottom of the second. You're watching Fast Pitch Softball on BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network.
Ever wonder where the capital A in Chick-fil-A came from? It started with grade A, top quality chicken. But we believed everything, not just the food, should be grade A.
A is for above and beyond.
An extra level of care.
A game.
From caring for our guests and our community to cleanliness and safe service with a My Pleasure. A is for all the little things we do to bring you our best every day.
A little funky dance.
And that too.
Welcome back to the BirdsNestSports.com broadcast network. Mike Ritchie, Billy Parker, Toby Murray. And Billy, what's your impression of the ball game up to this point?
It's been a good one. I think that Great Crossing's not going to be happy after starting that first inning so hot. Last inning didn't go so well for them, so let's see if they can hold off Woodford County here in this second inning.
All righty, for Woodford County, the first 3 batters, Tori Cavins, Taylor Patterson, and Mackenzie Cairo. So leading off is Tori Cavins, the left fielder. Batting .294, the junior. Hitting from the right side, as you can very easily see, thanks to the good camera work of Toby Murray. First pitch, outside corner, or just outside the outside corner. After the umpire last night, I was waiting for that delayed strike call. So first pitch is a ball, and Cavins ready for the second one. Pop up out to left field. Underneath of it is Riley McAllister, and she's got 2 hands, and guess what? She decides to use them on that fly
yes,
ball.
Sir. She handled that routine fly ball as we would look to expect.
So now up for Woodford County, Taylor Patterson. The right fielder is a freshman, batting .235 on the season. Left-handed hitting right fielder.
I believe now is this. I think this might be Mackenzie Cairo. Is this number 4?
You are right. So Patterson flies out to left field. Sorry for the scoring error. I told Toby that Cavins batted in the last inning.
Well, I'm sure Lane Ogle's hoping to do what's been done 10 times before with Cairo and get a strikeout here. She leads their team in strikeouts, so let's see what happens here.
Caven struck out in the last inning, if I remember correctly. So sorry for the scoring error. So the count 3-1 to Mackenzie Cairo.
But Ogle's seeing she's we're seeing what we'd hope to see out of throwing to a slapper. You want to go outside on them, make them have to reach. She needs to put it a little bit closer.
Here's a 3-1 pitch inside corner. Strike 2 called.
Staying inside on her.
Count remains full. 3-2 is the count. To Mackenzie Cairo, the number 8 batter for Woodford County. Lane Ogle on the mound for Great Crossing. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the ball game for the Warhawk Junior pitcher. That'll bring up Layla Ashburn, the first baseman, batting .250, only in the 8th grade.
Yeah. Her sister plays on my youngest daughter's team. They're in Richmond right now, so shout out to the 9U Rockers.
First pitch, out in short right field, on the move, and a nice try out there by Katie Baker. That'll be a single for Woodford County. Their 4th hit of the ball game.
Top of the lineup we've got here, and I didn't realize, just looked at it, 8 home runs on the year for the leadoff hitter.
So we have a runner out here for Layla Ashburn with 2 outs. Toby, can you get the number? It's 20-something. I think it's might be 25, the only one that's not in the ball game.
We think it's 22, Emma Ruby.
22, Emma Ruby. She's not on the lineup card.
Evening up the count, 1-1. 2 outs.
The 1-1 pitch outside. I'm not sure what to do on that because she's not on the lineup card as number 22. So if Coach wanted to say something about that, he probably could. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Hit well down the left field line. It's going to be foul and just out of play. So the count stays 2-2 to the leadoff hitter and pitcher Claire Limculler. Top of the 2nd inning here, 2 outs.
Great to see. Great to see.
Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout of the ball game. 3rd out of the inning. So good job, Elaine Ogle. We'll take a timeout. After 2 complete. Great Crossing 1. Woodford County 0. Back after this.
For oral surgery, you need a surgeon you can trust and feel at home with. Consider Dr. Robert Henderson at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery. Specializing in wisdom teeth extraction, surgery to prepare for dentures, biopsies, corrective jaw surgery, TMJ disorders, and dental implants. All outpatient procedures are performed right here in our office. We participate with most insurance, we offer care credit, and take care of all the paperwork. Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery will give you a lot to smile about.
So welcome back to the broadcast here today, looking at the recap as we go into the top of the 3rd inning. Great Crossing with 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Woodford County 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. So again, quite surprising. Limculler with a .74 ERA gives up 3 to the Warhawks in the 1st inning. And Great Crossing trying to do their best to extend the lead here as we go into the top of the third inning. And leading off for Great Crossing is the number 2 hitter, Delaney Sullivan. The shortstop walked and scored in the first inning. Batting over 400 for the season. First pitch swinging, fouled back into the net and into the glove of the catcher. Top of the third inning here at Great Crossing Park. The Warhawk Classic in full steam today, playing on multiple fields. Last games today start at 3 o'clock. So glad you're joining us if you're watching us on the internet, but if you get a chance today, come out. You'll see a beautiful facility and some really good high school fast pitch softball action here today at Great Crossing Park.
0-2 pitch. Oh, that's going to be trouble.
Over the head of the right fielder. The only thing stopped that one was the fence. And Sullivan rounds third.
I wondered with that bobble if they might send her. She's got the speed.
Yep. A leadoff triple for Great Crossing's Delaney Sullivan. The third hit of the ball game for the Warhawks. That'll bring up Bianca Ward, the number 3 hitter, the catcher for the Warhawks. First pitch swinging, fouled back into the net.
The home run leader for Great Crossing with 3.
And Delaney Sullivan almost got her one right there. Ward. She was trying to add another one to her total on that swing.
For sure. But don't necessarily need that with the runner on third.
Yep. So Great Crossing with at least 2 chances to put the ball in play and score the runner with no outs here.
It's interesting what that extra 10 feet does for you. I see that we're marked at 210 feet here, the same as Great Crossing's field. Some fields you'll find are around 200.
Calling a strikeout looking right there, so a good job by Lynn Culler to get the backwards K. That's our 5th strikeout of the ball game. That'll bring up Nani Valencia, the number 4 hitter, intentionally walked to load the bases in the first inning and scored on the 2-out RBI double off the bat of Destiny Reed. So first pitch calls a strike. Here comes pitch number 2. Way outside. Good job by Cora Robinson behind the plate. So Valencia's got to get the ball in play right here.
Yes, yes. Even just a productive out. Even just a productive out.
Fouls that one back into the net, and the count goes to 1-2. Staying alive.
Yeah, I figured if she's going to work it outside, she'll keep it low. The last thing she wants is to work a high outside pitch to be hit opposite field for Sullivan to come in.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Outside just a little bit, and the count goes 2-2. Being very careful right here, isn't she, to Valencia?
Definitely. 2 collegiate level talents battling it out. Future collegiate level talents, excuse me.
2-2 pitch. Fly popped up into right center field. The right fielder underneath of it misplays it, and Valencia is going to wind up at second base on the air.
You know, Mike,
right fielder.
I got to believe that she was thinking about the throw.
Yep.
I think she was thinking about that throw in, and
So the fourth run of the ball game for Great Crossing. First error of the day for Woodford County. And that'll bring up Kendall Mead, the DP for Great Crossing. Struck out in the first inning. And her only plate appearance up to this point. First pitch swinging. And that pitch is hard to lay off of, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Valencia down at second base. Tough play, but the right fielder, Taylor Patterson, got underneath of it and just misplayed it a little bit. But Lim Kohler is right back in action and she's ahead 0-2 to Great Crossing's Kendall Mead. Oh-2 pitch. Outside corner, strike three called. 6 strikeouts. And the second out of the inning.
Destiny Reed was a hero in that first inning. Let's see what she does here, Mike.
Yep. Double in that first inning with 2 outs. Off the wall in left field. Plated 3 runs for Great Crossing to give them the early 3-0 lead. First pitch swing and a miss. Great Crossing's done a great job of making contact up at this point. Often very impressive Woodford County starting pitcher, Claire Lim Kohler. So Valencia out at second base, 2 outs, and Destiny Reed with a chance to get her 4th RBI of the day. Good chance a base hit's going to score Valencia. But a swing and miss. 1-2 is the count. The infield for Great Crossing is going to be in pretty good shape for a couple more years.
Yes.
With Luckadoo, Sullivan, and Reed, all sophomores. 1-2 pitch, foul back into the net. Have to do a little bit of readjusting down here on all the technology right behind home plate attached to the net after that hard foul ball. And there's another one, probably adjusted the viewing angle of a couple of the cameras on the backstop you can see through your video feed.
It's starting to remind me a little bit of our, 16 or 17 pitches last night, her at bat.
Yep, I'm looking for a new record. Here's the 1-2 pitch on its way. Swing and a miss. So back-to-back strikeouts for Lim Kohler. That's strikeout number 7, only in the 3rd inning. So Great Crossing is able to score 1 run on the triple off the bat of Sullivan, and the error by the right fielder allows Sullivan to score. So through 3.5 innings, Great Crossing with the early lead, 4-1. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching Fast Pitch Softball on BirdsNestSports.com.
Scott County Physical Therapy is a privately owned physical therapy practice specializing in outpatient orthopedics, sports and industrial rehab, neurological rehabilitation, low back pain, neck pain, and arthritic conditions. Our mission is to provide the highest quality physical therapy to assist each individual and the community at large. Scott County Physical Therapy, a journey to wellness. To contact the physical therapist and Scott County Physical Therapy, please dial 502-863-4242. Scott County Physical Therapy is the title sponsor for Scott County Athletics.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. Mike Ritchie, Billy Parker, Toby Murray here at Great Crossing County Park. Good ball game through 2.5 innings. Great Crossing with the early lead, 4-1 against Woodford County. Woodford County will lead off with their number 2, 3, and 4 hitters in this inning: Tatum Wimberly, Kristen Murphy, and Cora Robinson. Tatum Wimberly ground out to Luckadoo in the first inning.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
Mike.
you're fine.
I said it last night, and I'll say it again. I really do think, Jeff Portwood's not scared of playing anybody. Look at the beginning of their schedule, and they picked up some losses, but they've played some top 10 teams, and I think that's paid off because I've seen, Lane Ogle, she's been in pressure situations numerous times in this game, and she's come out of them unscathed.
So Kimberly batting .548, and you look at the outfielders, they're playing pretty deep. A lot of respect for the bat of Kimberly. Brooklyn Booth shaded just a little bit towards left field. Everybody else pretty much straight up. Line drive over the head of Sullivan. Nice base hit right there, textbook, as Riley McAllister picks it up quickly. So the 5th hit of the ball game for Woodford County.
Kristen Murphy up.
Kristen Murphy, the number 3 hitter, singled, RBI single in the first inning. Was thrown out on a force play. First pitch outside, our second pitch outside. The count 2-0 to the Woodford County number 3 hitter, the third baseman, Kristen Murphy. Batting .324 on the season, only a sophomore. Here's the pitch from Ogle, a little bit low and outside. And the count goes 3-0.
Is she swinging away or taking? She's swinging away.
Ball out to right field. Underneath of it is Katie Baker for a catch about 1 foot in front of the warning track out there. So F9 on a well-hit ball. First out of the inning. That'll bring up Cora Robinson. Cora reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. First pitch to Robinson's high, ball 1.
Ogle's really taking her time out there.
Foul ball off the net.
And I would argue up to this point it's paid off for her.
That net does a good job of ball retrieval, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's first class. I mean, it's just like you'd see at a Reds game. Not quite as much of it, but not needed for a smaller field.
Nope. Outside corner, strike 2 called.
Which, speaking of the Reds, what about Joey Votto getting his 300th home run yesterday?
He's been around a long time. A good player, probably a little bit past his prime. Ground ball to Sullivan, flips it over to Reed. Reed with the flip, 1 hopper. In the dirt, Valencia keeps it in front of her. So another fielder's choice, 6-4.
I think Great Crossing was fortunate there where the ball actually hit off of the batter as she was making her way to first. Probably kept her from maybe getting an extra base there.
Yep. So 2 outs in the inning for Woodford County. Addison Kerr.
And we got a pinch runner, Mike.
Yep.
I'm sorry, a courtesy runner, 15.
Number 15, Aslan Day in running for Cora Robinson. She did that in the first inning as well. So 2 fielder's choices for Cora Robinson. And we have a new batter, or excuse me, a batter at the plate, Addison Kerr. It's still a little bit chilly this morning, boys. Cal Oaks at the park this morning. You see him walking by. Does a fine job for the news graphic, doesn't he?
He sure does. He sure does. Like I've said it before, student athletes for all of our teams really appreciate what he does for them.
Yep. Strike one, outside corner. You can hear that wind howling on that open mic out there, can't you?
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a breeze seems to be blowing in. Sure Lane Ogle doesn't mind that.
Nope. 1-1 is your count here. 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. Great Crossing 4, Woodford County 1. Pitch just outside, and the count goes 2-1.
A little outside, 3-1 is the count.
So Ogle, this inning's getting behind in the count. That's the second batter she's went to 3 balls on. Pop up in short right field.
Trouble.
Great catch out there by Destiny Reed. For the third out of the inning, you got to say hats off to the second baseman, her and Katie Baker out there battling for it. Looked like Baker makes the dive, but then the next thing you know, Destiny Reed comes right over top of her diving as well.
Yep.
Luckily right there, nobody got hurt. But 3 outs in the inning, so Woodford County goes down with no runs. So we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. You're watching Fast Pitch Softball on BirdsNestSports.com. Back after this.
County Veterinary Clinic offers complete animal health care, including hospitalization, surgery, in-house blood work, and laser therapy, along with a state-of-the-art boarding facility and a large yard to run and play. Find us online for more information.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. You can see the game recap after 3 innings. Great Crossing with 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. Woodford County 1 run, 5 hits, and also 1 error. So Billy, pretty good ball game up to this point as we go into the top of the 4th.
Sure is. And the Great Crossing side, I see a lot of smiles on that side of the stands.
So 4-1 is your score, top of the 4th inning. Leading off is the pitcher for Great Crossing, Lane Ogle.
We've got a pitching change too, it looks like, Mike.
Yep, number 3 is in the ball game, Kristen Murphy.
A little bit of a surprise for me. Let's see if Lane Ogle can get out there and help herself as a batter now, put some runs on the board.
So 3 innings pitched for Lim Kohler. Give up 3 hits, 3 runs. We're going to say all of those are earned. No walks, and very impressive 7 strikeouts. I'm sorry, she had 2 walks. One of those was intentional. So Kristen Murphy for Woodford County, let's check out her season stats. She's pitched in 6 games, started 1. She's pitched 15.2 innings.
You know, it's interesting to me, Mike. It's the game plan for these coaches on days when they have multiple games like today. You got to be careful because a lot of games you've got it stretched out. You can run with 1 pitcher all week long in some cases, but not today.
Up 2-2 pitch outside. And Murphy pretty good on the hill as well. She's given up 24 hits, 21 runs, 14 of those earned, 6 walks, 20 strikeouts. Her record is 0-1, 6.26 ERA. Line drive down the right field line, foul. And it looks like that, if I'm looking at this correctly, it looks like Lim Color went over to play third base, maybe? We'll check and see. Correction, Layla Ashburn.
Yes, they shifted her over from first, it looks like, doesn't
Went over to third base. And Lim Color went over to first base. And a great at bat right there by Lane Ogle. She kept battling and wound up getting a walk.
And we're going to have a courtesy runner for her. I believe that's number 16, Ashton Holbrook, coming out there. It is. Eighth grader for Great Crossing.
Yep.
Coach Portwood giving instructions to Brooklyn Booth. Giving instruction to Ashton Holbrook over there on first.
Yep. Brooklyn Booth, 0 for 1 in the ball game. The center fielder tries the bunt, foul ball. So Woodford County going with a new pitcher here, Kristen Murphy. She comes over from third base. A couple other changes. Layla Ashburn was playing first. She flips over to third, and Lim Kohler goes over to first base. Pitch a little bit high.
And you're hoping as a Great Crossing fan that if their starting pitcher had a sub-1 ERA and we did what we did to her, imagine what we might be able to pull off on Murphy with a, what'd you say, a 6?
6.26. Bunts right through that one. Now she's behind the count 1-2. Here's always the interesting call. You want her to bunt, but after 2 attempts unsuccessful, you let her try to do it a third time, Billy?
I don't know. I'm not as familiar with Brooklyn Booth. It's a rare occurrence where I would allow it. We've done it in a few situations in our travel ball seasons, but unconventional for sure.
Staying alive. Count stays 2-2. Pretty good ball game up to this point. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch taken. Strike 3. First strikeout for Kristen Murphy. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Katie Baker. An awesome play.
Oh, that one really got away from her.
Between her and Destiny Reed out there. Wild pitch. Allows the courtesy runner Ashton Holbrook, to get down to second base. So runner in scoring position for Katie Baker. The right fielder, she dove for it, and then Destiny Reed dove over top of her and caught it.
I wasn't expecting a called strike on that one, but it was.
Yep, here's the 1-1 pitch for Murphy. Hard shot,
nice.
Right past the third baseman out there, Ashburn. Unable to score is Holbrook, so she'll hold up at third base. But a nice one-out hit.
With a 3-run lead, Great Crossing being a little conservative on the base paths there.
4th hit of the ball game for Great Crossing. So runners on the corner and back to the top of the lineup. And when you say top of the lineup for Great Crossing, that's Miss Cameron Luckadoo, our player of the game last night.
Yes, sir. Had quite a game.
Yep, 1 for 2 with 1 run scored in this ball game. First pitch called strike on the outside corner. 4-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Woodford County trying to keep Great Crossing from scoring another run. Keep this one close. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A little bit high, wild pitch. The runner's coming in, and she's under the tag. Great hustle right there by Ashton Holbrook. Plate's Great Crossing's 5th run of the ball game. So 5-1 is your score. I didn't know late break by Holbrook, but she was able to get in just under the tag. Luckadoo flies it, pops it up out to the right side, off the fence for the warm-up pitcher. And the count goes 1-2.
Which, as Mike indicated, there is action in the bullpen for Woodford County. And I think there's just maybe some playing going on in the other.
Yep. 1-2. Ball right up the middle. Backhanded by
nice
Courtney.
hustle.
And an infield single for Cameron Luckadoo. Katie Baker's able to make it over to third base. So the runner's on the corner for the number 2 hitter for Great Crossing, Delaney Sullivan. 1 for 1, excuse me.
I got to believe with the speed here, Mike, they're going to send Luckadoo. What do you think?
Sounds like you're the expert. I'm just calling the action.
There she goes.
Yep.
Oh, hit by pitch.
So, yeah, Kristen Murphy coming in and struggling a little bit. Got an out after the leadoff walk to Lane Ogle. Ashton Holbrook was able to score after a couple of wild pitches and a single. But the bases are full now of Warhawks. That'll bring up Bianca Ward, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out looking for the first out of the 3rd inning in her last plate appearance. First pitch swinging, nice hard shot.
Oh, wow. Third baseman not as heads up as that shortstop. That shortstop was looking for the easy play at third, and the third baseman wasn't quite there.
Yep, so we're going to score that as a fielder's choice.
Yep.
No out in the play.
Ryan Livingston's on first base now for Bianca Ward, the catcher.
So courtesy runner for Bianca Ward down at first base.
Lots of speed on those base paths. All we need is something to drop in the outfield from Nani Valencia.
So a great play out there by Tatum Wimberly. She looked up, tried to get it over to Layla Ashburn, but she was playing just a little bit too far inside the third base bag to get there in time. So a little bit of indecision cost Woodford County another run. Off-speed curveball, strike 1 call. So Nani Valencia up for Great Crossing. The batters are full, nowhere to go with her. Pitches in the dirt, and count evens up 1-1.
You don't want to put too many of them in the dirt with Luckadoo on third there.
The 1-1 pitch on its way from Murphy.
Oh, opposite field. Is it going to drop?
Right field, just a little bit foul. Good idea. So 1-2 is the count on the number 4 hitter for Great Crossing, Nani Valencia. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Oh, that
ball
was great.
Off the bag. That's going to score at least 2 runs for Great Crossing.
Stand-up double.
Yep, and Livingston and Valencia were able to wind up at second and third base appropriately. 2 RBIs for Valencia.
And Kendall Mead's looking to get started still, Mike.
So 3 hits in the inning, along with the hits batter. One of those, a 2-run RBI double off the bat of Nani Valencia. And great crossing, about ready to blow this game wide open. Kendall Mead, the DP, 0 for 2, both times strikeouts. This one's back up the box. 1 run's going to score easily. They're going to send Valencia. And she's in standing up. So a 2 RBI single off the bat of Kendall Mead. Plates Ryan Livingston for the 9th run and Nani Valencia for run number 10 for Valencia.
Next up, the lady who got it all started with 3 RBIs in the first inning, Destiny Reed.
Yep.
That Reed and Mead back-to-back throws me off a little bit there.
One out. Long inning for Woodford County, as this is the number 9 hitter in the inning for Great Crossing. Reed with the fly ball down the left field in foul territory is caught by Tori Cavens. For the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Lane Ogle, who started this mess, if you're a Woodford County fan. She led off with a walk. First pitch swinging down the right field line. And foul. Four hits, a walk, a hit batter, and a little bit of indecision has led to quite a few runs for Great Crossing in this inning. They've plated 6 runs. Off-speed curveball, outside corner, strike 2 call, and Ogle finds herself behind the count. 0-2 here with 2 outs in this top of the 4th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Right back up the middle, line drive. Underneath the glove of the center fielder is going to allow Kendall Mead to get all the way over to third base. So the second error of the ball game for Woodford County.
Ashton Holbrook coming back in.
And this is the 11th batter of the inning, Brooklyn Booth for Great Crossing. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch in the dirt. So 2 runners in scoring position. You have Kendall Mead down at third base. Ashton Holbrook down at second. Ball gets away. Kendall Mead into score easily on the wild pitch.
And we're in run rule territory if it was the 5th inning. If they were able to keep this 10-run lead.
So 11-1 is your score. And it looks like Coach Les Anderson is just going to go with Kristen Murphy at this point. Nobody's warming up out in the bullpen. And Brooklyn Booth ahead 2-0 in the count. Off-speed curveball. Strike 1 call.
Murphy just a sophomore, so I'm wondering if this might be the future after their predominant starter takes off next year.
Two pitch. Like you're saying, Billy, it's always it's kind of tough in softball. How do you rely on your experienced pitcher, but how do you give experience to the younger pitchers? And there's a big difference between JV and varsity in any sport.
For sure.
Booth quickly up with it is Wimberly over to Claire Limcoller for the third out of the inning, but a lot of damage done. For Great Crossing, they score 6 runs in the inning to take 11-1 lead. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back for the bottom of the 4th inning. You're watching Fast Pitch Softball on BirdsNestSports.com.
Steve Skierman, agency manager at the Scott County Farm Bureau Insurance, would like you to know that as your local insurance agent, he is right here in your community, ready to help you with all your insurance needs. In the event of a loss, you can count on Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance to help you through it. We have local claims adjusters to serve you at your time of loss. We are knowledgeable about our community and can provide valuable assistance and advice when needed. Call the office today at 502-863-2454 for a free, no obligation quote. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, big on commitment.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning right here. And Great Crossing kind of blown this one wide open a little bit. They put the 5th inning out here, but it's only the bottom of the 4th inning. So apologize that. I had 2 options, Billy. I could look at my screen that shows me the inning, or I could look at the scoreboard.
Yep.
And like most times, I chose the wrong one.
But I think, if you're watching, you would assume at Great Crossing Park that Great Crossing would be the home team.
Yep. So Tori Cavens trying to get a rally started for Woodford County. They've only got 1 run up to this point. First pitch fouled off from the back of the net. On deck is Patterson, followed by Cairo. For Woodford County, on the mound for Great Crossing is Lane Ogle. Slap hit into the back of the net.
Yeah, Cavens definitely doesn't appear to hit for power with no extra base hits this year. But she's gotten on quite a bit.
So we'll see what Ogle does right here, 0-2. Outside, just a hair on that changeup. Bottom of the 4th inning, 11-1. Great Crossing scores 7 runs in that 4th inning. Batted 11 batters. Cavens kind of just muffed at that one a little bit.
Took it outside on her.
4th strikeout for Ogle. That'll bring up the right fielder, freshman number 2, Taylor Patterson. First pitch. Tried to check swing, but pops it up right over to Nani Valencia. For the 2nd out of the inning. That was like, oops, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, I looked down for a second and her at-bat's over.
Yep. Now batting is the center fielder, Mackenzie Cairo. Another slap hitter for Woodford County. Struck out in her only plate appearance up to the ball game. Takes that first pitch change up for a strike 1 call. Oh, 1 pitch outside. Beautiful facilities over here, and I know we said it last night, but awesome place for a tournament atmosphere. She tries to slap it. Luckadoo tries to dive for it, goes off the glove, and stays in fair territory. We're going to say that's a base hit. Nice attempt by Cameron Luckadoo. 6th hit of the ball game for Woodford County. They've had a hit in every inning.
And Layla Ashburn up, she dropped one in trouble territory just behind first base, but just in front of Katie Baker last time up.
Ashburn started out at first base, moved over to third on the pitching change.
Again, an 8th grader, so they've got some youth and the future looks bright for Woodford County.
So Ogle behind in the count, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch with the runner at first base. Fouls it off back into the net. Count goes 2-1. One pitch fouled off in the net again. Rise ball rose a little bit too much there, didn't it?
Just a little bit, and she's loaded up the count. As my younger daughter's team right now is probably saying in the dugout, 3-2, what you gonna do?
We're gonna see. She's gonna say, I'm gonna get a base hit.
That's right.
So Ashburn back-to-back hits for Woodford County. Cairo down to second base. 7th hit of the ball game for the Yellow Jackets. And that'll bring us back to the top of the lineup with Claire Limculler starting out pitching. Move to first base. No, we have a. Let me clarify that. Yep.
Yeah, not the person you want to see up with 2 runners on.
That is correct. Batting .432 on the season. 1 for 2 in the ball game today. She scored the only run for Woodford County.
Ogle showing some respect with working the edges of the plate.
Not for sure what that timeout was.
Seems like there's some discussion here. Pinch runner or
yep, number 22, Emma Ruby, in the ball game. That means Miss Ashburn is done, right? That's the second pinch run.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm not as familiar with the high school variation of these rules.
Yep, she pinch run for Ashburn in the second inning.
I want to believe that they're allowed so many per inning.
Yeah, I'm not for sure of that. I'm used to having, you could have a courtesy runner for the pitcher and catcher.
Right, that's what I'm used to in the travel ball world we live in. But and like I think Ashton Holbrook, she was able to go out there, I believe, multiple times in 1 inning, which I wasn't certain was allowable.
Yep.
Oh, that's what you want to see.
Pop up. Valencia takes charge. So no damage done as Valencia comes in on that tough play. And
the umpires are looking.
We're through 4 innings. We'll check and see what's going on here. It's just the bottom of the 4th inning, or after 4 inning complete. Coach Anderson looks like he thinks we're done. So we'll find out here. We'll stick around.
No. Here we go. Are they coming? Looks like the Woodford County's coming out of the dugout.
Yep, it's only the bottom of the 4th inning. little bit of indecision. You got a time limit, and you got the score of the ball game limit. And we'll wait just a second. It's only the bottom of the fifth inning. Or it's only the top of the fifth inning, excuse me. We have time. It's only 10:17.
What'd you say the time limit was on this, Mike?
Coach Portwood told me is 90 minutes.
Okay. Then, yeah, we should have plenty.
Yep. I think there's confusion because the scoreboard showed 5 innings a little bit prematurely. So we'll do this. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. You're watching High School Athletics on BirdsNestSports.com. Back after this.
Hi, Dick Stockton here. I've been announcing sports for over 40 years, and I know a winning team when I see one. Greens Toyota of Lexington has what it takes to win, which is why Greens is Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 2 years running. Family owned for over 40 years, Greens strives to give excellent customer service and best value for the dollar. No matter what department, parts, service, or sales, Greens continues to move forward doing business the right way every day. Be a part of Greens' winning team. Greens Toyota. Great people, great cars. Think green.
Welcome back to BirdsNestSports.com. New pitcher into the ball game for Woodford County. That would be Miss Natalie Kerr. She's only pitched 1/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 7 earned runs. A lot of defensive changes for the Yellow Jackets as well. Ashton Kerr now catching for Woodford County. Over at first base is Cora Robinson.
I would imagine that Kerr-to-Kerr connection has a lot of familiarity between each other, wouldn't you?
Yep, Krista Murphy goes back to play third base. And I think that's all of the changes up to this point. Well, the coach heard me and he says, I'm going to make one more for you. He brought in Madison Stafford to play second base. So a lot of movement there by Woodford County. I think we got most of it. New pitcher is the most important thing that you're going to hear on the broadcast. Natalie Kerr on the mound. That means that Krista Murphy goes back over to third base. Addison Kerr goes from the DP spot goes to start catching. And out at first base now was the former catcher, Cora Robinson. And then we're going to put Stafford out playing second base. That would be Madison Stafford. First pitch swinging.
Beats the throw.
Yep.
Before we can even tell you it's Katie Baker up, she's on base.
Yep. Tatum Wimberly comes up with it. And you got to say infield single on that one.
Yes, sir.
For Katie Baker.
Earned every bit of that one.
It's our second single of the ball game. The 8th hit for Great Crossing.
First pitch take for a strike.
Back to the top of the lineup, Cameron Luckadoo. She knows that we were pronouncing her name wrong yesterday, and she was too nice to say anything about it. She didn't want to hurt our feelings. Wild pitch. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody too nice not to hurt your feelings. What about that? But the word got up here, and I think that's the most important part, so we apologize to Mr. and Mrs. But the way she played last night, she might want to go by the name Lookadoo.
Yeah, because look at here.
Count goes to 2-1. Scott County playing later on today as they're going to take on Ryle in baseball. We'll head over there. Toby and I will head over there and call that game for you. Luckadoo, a little bit ahead of that one. It's a line shot. Foul.
Clearly demonstrating to the new pitcher that she can handle the inside pitch.
Kerr a little bit more patient out on the mound. Luckadoo line drive out to the left fielder. Tori Cavens hit the ball on the nose, but right to the left fielder for the first out of the inning for the Warhawks. And that'll bring up Delaney Sullivan, the shortstop. Got a little bit of a secret instruction from Luckadoo. And Luckadoo's going over sharing that with Bianca Ward. So Delaney Sullivan, 1 for 1 in the ball game. Also has a walk and hit pitch is how she reached. Scored all 3 times.
Sounds like some excitement on one of the other fields.
Yep. So, Billy, not to get ahead of ourselves, but we got to start thinking about our player of the game. Sponsored by Oser Paint Company, our paint and flooring today.
And with 11-1 score, there's several people you could consider.
Yep. I'm almost thinking about Destiny Reed. She had the double off the wall to score 3 runs in that first inning and had that awesome defensive play out at second base. So the count 2-2 to one of the 3 sophomore infielders for Great Crossing, Delaney Sullivan. 2-2 pitch.
Oh.
She takes a step and hits one into the gap.
In the gap, for sure, yeah.
It's the warning track, and then to score is going to be Katie Baker.
I was a little confused on that one, Mike. I felt like the right fielder wasn't charging as hard as maybe they could have been, but I don't know.
So a triple, back-to-back triples for Delaney Sullivan. Plates the 12th run of the ball game for Great Crossing. And Miss Sullivan said, look, back-to-back triples here. Be thinking about me as that player of the game.
Yep.
So Bianca Ward, 0 for 3 in the ball game. The number 3 hitter batting .409, so just doing the math, she's due.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and as Toby Murray was pointing out, we can't forget about Lane Ogle, holding the team in the top 20 to 1 run. Isn't easy.
Yep. So that just kind of shows you we're talking about who's going to be the player of the game. It's a hard decision. That tells you how well that Great Crossing has played this morning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled down the left side. One-two pitch, swing and a miss. She drops it, and they get her with the tag, which means they don't have to throw it. First strikeout of the ball game for Natalie Kerr. 8th strikeout of the ball game for Great Crossing. That'll bring up Nani Valencia. So 8 strikeouts, and you still score 12 runs. Don't see that happening a lot.
No. Called ball just now. Woodford County fans didn't seem to like that call.
But you got to think about it. 7 of those strikeouts came at the hands of Claire Limcoller.
Bellerman signee.
Yep. And 7 of those runs were while Kristen Murphy was on the mound, so a little bit deceiving there.
Yeah.
But regardless, you have Delaney Sullivan down at third base, Valencia in the batter's box for Great Crossing. She had a 2 RBI double her last time up. .30 pitch, outside corner is the call. Valencia thought she'd got a free pass.
I thought she did too. I think we might have a ball that's, a ball that crossed the fence there.
.31 pitch, right back up the box. Line shot out to the center fielder, Mackenzie Cairo. And Valencia with her 3rd RBI of the ball game. Plates the 13th run for Great Crossing on 11 hits.
Yeah, it looks like we've reached the time limit, but with it being the top of the inning, I guess we'll finish this inning out. One would assume.
Pinch hitter in for Great Crossing is number 10.
Riley
the flex
McAllister,
player.
I believe, isn't it? Yep. McAllister's been playing left field for the Warhawks.
So 13 runs for the ball game up to this point after that last RBI single from Valencia. Plated Delaney Sullivan. Line drive, just foul off the bat of Riley McAllister.
Just foul. You're right, just foul.
2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Kerr heading the count 0-2 to McAllister. Pop up just outside the reach of Cora Robinson over at first base for Woodford County.
Fouling it away, staying alive, right?
Top of the 5th inning here. Great Crossing 13, Woodford County 1. 2 outs. Pitch from Kerr. Oh, ball off the bag. And no play for Kristen Murphy. That's one of those, oh my gosh, types of singles, but it counts in the books as a line drive.
Yep. That's how the ball bounces, or right? And then, is that what the hell it goes, how the ball bounces, I guess?
Yep. So now batting for Great Crossing is number 12, Ryan Livingston.
Livingston's gotten a lot of action in their JV games. She's had some really heady plays in those games. A really exciting player to watch. Let's see what she can do here with her bat.
Swing and a miss.
Oh, 2's the count to Ryan Livingston.
That pitch from Kerr delivered with a little bit of grunt, winds up outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Again, while we got a break in the action here, I'd like to give a shout out to Dr. Robert Henderson over at Georgetown Oral and Facial Surgery, Art Morvay, Lynn Reeves of Scott County Physical Therapy, the primary sponsors of our experiment this spring.
Oh,
strike 3 called.
Generous strike 3 call there for Kerr.
Yep, 2 outs, 2 strikeouts in the inning 4. Natalie Kerr, now get us to the bottom of the 5th. Great crossing, 13. Woodford County 1. We'll be back right after this.
Georgetown means great cars, great local sports, great people, and Galvin's, a great place where friends meet for great Galvin's food. Galvin's voted the best local restaurant in Georgetown. Enjoy a great specialty sandwich from Philly cheesesteaks to Strombolis. Bring the whole family. Watch the big games on the big screens. You'll watch the game. We'll make the munchies like our signature pizzas and home-cut potato chips. Galvin's on Main Street next to the courthouse. Join us on Facebook for all the latest Galvin's action.
Welcome back to the broadcast here. Mike Ritchie, Billy Parker, Toby Murray going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Last chance for Woodford County.
Looks like there's numerous changes, Mike.
Yep, always a play-by-play guy's dream.
Well, I can probably help you out a little bit with some of this. Looks like we've got number 8, Emma Sutton, on first. Ryan Livingston's playing second base. Looks like they've kept Miss Sullivan out there, and we've got Ashton Holbrook on third, number 16. Bianca Ward still behind the plate. Oh, I think I know this pitcher out there, number 9, Brenna Parker. And then outfield, it's a little bit hard to tell. It looks like it's still going to be Katie Baker. I believe Riley McAllister still. There may be a change at center field. Looks like possibly Taylor Gaines might be making an appearance out in the outfield. I believe she's number 11.
Who'd you say was over at first base? Go through those for me real quick.
All right. Emma Sutton, number 8 at first base. Ryan Livingston, number 12 at second. Ashton Holbrook, number 16 is at third. Pitching now is Brenna Parker, number 9. The outfield, Katie Baker stayed. I think Riley McAllister stayed. It looks like maybe Taylor Gaines, number 11, in center field. Boatload of changes.
First pitch strike from Brenna Parker. Let's look at her season stats if we can. She's pitched in 4 games, started 3, 11.2 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both of those earned, 4 walks, 18 strikeouts. 3-0 on the season. 3 wins, 1.20 ERA. Pop up out to center field, Gaines underneath of it, first out of the inning for Woodford County, off the bat of Tatum Wimberly.
Yeah, Coach Portwood's been smart about putting the 8th grader on the mound in safe situations.
Yep, that's called good coaching. You put your players in the spot to succeed. Now batting is Kristen Murphy. First pitch swinging, a line drive off the glove of Riley McAllister out there in left field.
And actually, Mike, I think I had that wrong. I think Taylor Gaines might be in left field, and it looks like they've moved Riley McAllister to center. So I apologize about that.
No problem. As long as that's the only mistake you make today, you'll have a very good day.
I wouldn't bet on it.
You get a chance to double or an E on that play?
I will say double on that one.
I'm going to say it's varsity baseball or softball. We're going to say an air.
Okay.
It's a JV double, varsity air.
You can make the argument either way.
Cora Robinson now batting 0 for 2. Falls behind 2-0. Does Brenna Parker. Pitch in the dirt. So I got to ask you, any relation to the pitcher out on the mound there?
That would be my oldest.
I understand. A little bit quieter I see here from the color analyst.
Yeah.
Dad nerves kicked in. 3-0 pitch. Right down the pipe.
Trying to be careful what I say.
That's all right. I don't care. I coached and with my son all the way through, and you can say what you want, but dad mode always kicks in. 3-1 pitch. Outside. Free pass. That'll bring up number 18, Addison Kerr. 1 for 2 in the ball game. 1 out. In this bottom of the 5th inning, let me update the scoreboard. Again, player of the game awarded after this, sponsored by Oser Paint and Flooring. Outside corner, strike 1 call. Bit further outside on that one, and that's a ball. Count evens up 1-1. Lane Ogle pretty much been a workhorse for the Warhawks this season, the junior.
For sure.
Fly ball out to right field. Gets under the glove of Katie Baker.
Throw coming.
Throws a little bit late, so an RBI single for Addison Kerr. Robinson able to get over to third base.
15 courtesy runner coming in. Aslan Day on first. And I can hear Lane Ogle in the dugout cheering on her pitching counterpart.
So runners at the corner for the 8th grader Parker. Nobody's covering second, so an easy pass allows Day to get down to second base. And now the runners at second and third with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Batting for Woodford County is Tori Cavens, the lefty. Pitch is a little bit high. Here comes the play at the plate. And there's no play at all, as Robinson scores on that wild pitch. Third run of the ball game for Woodford County.
Runner on second advances to third, so still a little bit of danger.
So Tori Cavens, an opportunity here with the ball in play to get an RBI herself. 13-3 is your score. There's the slap to Sullivan. Sullivan going home with it. Nice play. The ball's dropped
out
by the catcher, Bianca Ward. And Cavens. So it's going to be a fielder's choice for Cavens, and she goes down to second. We're going to say E2 on that. Allows the run to score. Sullivan made a great throw to Bianca Ward. She was just unable to catch it, and that play's harder than it looks. You know that runner's coming at you. And she was a little bit up the box because the runner actually slid and was 2 feet short of the plate due to the catcher being towards the third base line. Slap hit to right field off the bat of Taylor Patterson. Cavens gets to third base but is held up by the coach. So the 9th hit of the ball game for Woodford County. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Mackenzie Cairo. First pitch, swing and a miss. Patterson just bolts down to second base. Nobody's covering. Or more importantly, I don't know if nobody cares. It was one of the two. I'll let you viewers decide. Pitch is a strike. Next pitch, strike 2. So this will be the last inning regardless of the score due to the time limit constraints. Swing and a miss. First strikeout of the ball game for the 8th grader. Brenna Parker. That'll bring up we'll check and see who
It's Natalie Kerr, number 7, the opposing pitcher right now.
Natalie Kerr. First pitch swinging, pop up. Sullivan says, get out of the way, I've got it.
And there we go.
And that's the last out. Of the ball game. And Billy, since that ball game is now final, if you look here, I'm thinking I'm going to say Delaney Sullivan. She had an RBI, 2 triples, on base with a hit batter, a walk, scores 4 runs.
Yep.
So we're going to say Delaney Sullivan. I'll let Billy and Toby go down and take a picture and present her award, and we're going to pack everything up here and get out of the way. Great Crossing wins the ball game with your final score 13-4. Thanks for joining us. Give us about an hour and a half to get over to Scott County's baseball field and get set up. We'll bring you Scott County baseball as the Cardinals host Ryle in the Den Cummings Slugfest. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.